Hey, how you all doing? I'm back here with my buddy Johnny Aspera. Johnny, how's it going today?
Good. It's good
Yeah,
to see you.
you too, man. You too.
Hanging in there.
People are enjoying the video. They're finding a lot of value out of it. And one thing that Johnny's educated me about ALS in our time of talking about all this is he was telling me that at any given time, there's 25,000 to 30,000 people living with ALS. And again, not a lot is known about it. So a hypothetical for you, Johnny, is, I'm somebody and I just get the news from the doctor that I have ALS. What are the three things that I should do right away, or what would be some tips that you would give for somebody to help process that, make sense of it, adjust?
That's a tough question. Tips? Tips on being told that you have a terminal progressive disease? There are no tips. I mean, it hits you like a ton of bricks. But I think the first thing is, for me, I'll just talk about me, because that's really the only authority that I have is how I reacted. The first thing I thought was, how am I going to tell my family? Mm-hmm. The second thing was kind of the silliest, mundane little, like, how was I going to, I had a catering job at the time, like the next week. What's going to happen to the business, et cetera, et cetera. But the main focus for me was, once the dust settled, and remember, I've been blessed, even though I am one of the 25 to 30,000 people at any given time that have ALS, I have a very slow moving type. And because I've known several patients that are gone. When I first diagnosed, I've been diagnosed now for 14 months, they're gone. Wow. So the ability for me to be a chatty Cathy here on social media and talk about the biomechanics, the insidiousness of ALS, for me, it's a responsibility and an honor, but also it's a blessing. So I'm lucky to do it. Because once you've been diagnosed with ALS, mm-hmm. Now what are you going to do?
Yeah. Now what?
Now what? And for me, and I can only, again, talk about myself and my experiences, that once I walked out of that office, nobody knew what the next step was. Because what happens is you have to think down the road and stay ahead of it, in that, how am I going to support myself? How am I going to pay the rent? Who's going to help me in my day-to-day mundane chores? Where do I go? How do I survive? It's a mode of survival. Now I prayed a lot, I cried a lot. I mean, I was on my hands and knees a bunch. They say there's no atheists in a foxhole. I can attest that. There are no atheists in a foxhole. And I just prayed to God, just give me courage to outsmart this thing, give me courage to figure this thing out. And I realized that I needed a whole team, a whole troop of people around me, from social services to doctors to friends to family, to help me in the day-to-day things, cleaning the house. I don't have a car anymore. I need a ride everywhere I go. And I'm one of the lucky ones that has a slow-moving type of ALS, where I can walk into town. I call it the heel-toe express. I'll walk into town, but as the disease progresses to my lower body and is taking away my legs, I'm finding that my duration and my ability to walk more than 20, 30 minutes, so I've got to think about a cab.
Yeah,
so all the
absolutely.
things. So social services, mm-hmm. Surround myself with a good team of doctors, surround myself with loving friends and family, and I'm blessed. I am truly blessed to have so many people on my team, and that's awesome. The first thing to do, is put your team together.
I think that's such an important piece of information, is surround yourself with people who are going to be there for you.
Yeah.
Maybe make a list and reach out to those people.
Yeah. Because there are no cures. It's funny, when it first started to come on and the word spread organically throughout the community that this thing was coming on, everyone was so sweet, and our naivete, our ignorance about the disease, and everyone, almost to a man and woman, would say, Johnny, can't you go to an acupuncturist, or can't you go work out? You've been an athlete your whole life. I said, I wish it was that easy. I mean, there's no pill, there's no needle, there's nothing other than faith in God and family and surrounding myself with my support group. That's what gets me through the day to day.
That's awesome, Johnny.
Yeah.
Hey, man, that's great stuff. Thanks
Right
for
on,
sharing, buddy.
right on. Hey, thank you.